I'm just putting it out there. I think I've started a stream with no audio problems, no mess ups. This is probably a first in LJ PSN history. So thanks for being a part of that. Welcome, everyone. Men's, ladies, gentle bears, however you identify yourselves. Welcome to this evening's Outside Insider podcast. It's one of the only times I think this season we're going to have a pre-game show on a Wednesday because the Eagles are on TNF, which means we also somehow, due to the magical nature of this show, have pre-game Wednesday and post-game Friday. You can't make it up. I'm a genius. That's why I get paid the big bucks. That's what we do. The Mad Chatter, Gregory Moody. Ron, how are you doing this evening? Thank you so much for hanging out. We've got plenty to get through. I've brought goodies. I've brought pictures. I've got graphics. That sounds weird out of context. I'm sure you get what I mean later. But we've got a lot to get through, so I'm sure we'll get there bit by bit, step by step. But yeah, welcome into the chaos, everyone. If you are just joining us, make sure you leave a like. If you're wondering where the hell I've been, I'm sure I'll address it about 8 times over the next 6 weeks until you're all firmly back in the coop, until I've rounded you all back up. I've ran around Philadelphia like the shepherd I am, bringing you all back home so I can bore you with my English accent again. That's how we do. Only complaint I've got, currently, I haven't got the PC set up here. That's the monitor for it. I've got no webcam. So I'm using my iPad. And because if anyone's got an iPad, they know that the camera's on the top. So when you put it sideways, I don't like a thumb. I don't like a toe. If you do that with your thumb, it's not great. That's the only, minor quibble, but we can work with it. Jay Fitz, nice to see you, man. Yeah, I'm happy to be back too. Genuinely, really, really happy to get back. Yeah, I don't know where to start today, to be honest with you, other than the fact that we are going to be doing a little giveaway, a little surprise giveaway. We mentioned last Monday's episode that if we cross the threshold of more likes than the Eagles had points in Sunday's game, then we're buzzing. What we'll do now is, if we can do that every time, we'll do a little giveaway every time. Not a jersey, but I'll go on Fanatics and I'll surprise you. It could be a key ring. It could be an alarm clock. It could be a pair of slippers. I will find something Eagles related for you. So all you've got to do to be in with a chance of winning, leave a like on this video. And if we get more than 25, which is the amount the Eagles beat the Patriots or had on the Patriots on Sunday, you'll be in with a chance of winning, and we'll select a winner at the end of the show. Yeah, okay, so Greg says injuries, and that's probably a good place to start. Let me pretend like I know what I'm doing here. You know when you give a presentation at college and you're trying to wing it? This is what's going on, because I have lost absolutely everything. There we go. Right, bear with me. Okay, injuries. Are you ready? Are you ready for this? Ready? Oh, yeah. Oh, we came prepared. We came prepared with this. That's right. We're not messing around today. We are not coming in light. I've been working, been up since 6 in the morning. I had to puppy sit for a little Labrador. That's neither here nor there, because right in front of us, you have got the most aesthetically pleasing graphic the world has ever seen, with all the information you could possibly need on it. So let's start with the basics then. The Eagles are a little bit muddied. And as you can see, my mental health is also on that injury report, and for good reason, because somehow, some way, every single one of these injuries correlate, and that's what is winding me up this evening. We're going to talk about that in just a second. So let's start with James Bradbury. CB2, great season last year, had a 45% completion rate allowed when targeted. Okay, very, very good. Only allowed 3 touchdowns. I'm pretty sure, no, 2 touchdowns allowed, 3 picks is what he had. I just wrote the article 10 minutes ago. I'm not that intelligent. Brilliant cornerback, and especially with Minnesota coming to town, we know Darius Slade tends to trail Justin Jefferson. We've seen it in the past few times they've played. For some reason, the Eagles and the Vikings seem to play each other once a year now. It's like a routine that we just humiliate them for fun. So Darius Slade is going to be taking care of Justin Jefferson. That is fantastic, okay? Bad news is Jordan Addison is just as dangerous. And you don't now have James Bradbury, which means you're going to have either, I would say, Josh Joby or Keely Ringo. My head says it's going to be Josh Joby, purely because he's already had a year in Philadelphia. He's more familiar with the teammates and everything like that. Having said that, the big equalizer is that the scheme has only just been implemented. So if Sean Desai is particularly high on Keely Ringo, there's a good chance he gets that opportunity instead. I would give it to him just on the basis that you've actually spent draft capital on him and you want to get him those snaps. It's a very good opportunity to get him implemented into the game. But let's get back to the injury report. There's problem 1, minor quibble. Little issue, okay? Jordan Addison only had 64 yards in week 1, but it was enough to put the scarers on a lot of people, okay? Addison could well be, I mean, Minnesota have a habit of making great receivers out of nothing. Adam Thielen's obviously the most notable one. A lot of people wrote off Justin Jefferson, including myself, on draft night and now look very stupid. They know what they're doing. They can scheme their wideouts open very nicely. It's a problem. The Eagles have handled it very well, very, very well in recent years, but without your CB2, it's a problem. It's even more of a problem. So we go back to this screen right here. Another minor quibble, just a slight, concern, is there is no Reed Blankenship. That's okay to a point because your top safety is undrafted. The same problem we've got with safety and linebackers, and the Kobe Dean and Blankenship both fall into this, is the fact that there's no depth behind them, and both of them were kind of not high risk, but like the reward was there, but there's also a steep drop off if they don't pan out realistically. Because as we saw the other day, Justin Evans wasn't exactly brilliant. Okay, he didn't exactly have a fantastic day at the office. Terrell Edmonds has been good in the past. I don't know. I would genuinely prefer to see him take over Nakobe Dean's spot as the Mike linebacker rather than play safety. I think he's a bit more suited to that box role. On the plus side, it probably does mean we're going to get to see Sidney Brown. That's good. I love Sidney Brown. Made a hell of an impact in week 1 on special teams. And of course, the tape at Illinois speaks for itself. The guy is a human wrecking ball. I think, to me, he's what everyone wanted Kayvon Wallace to be out of the box, which I guess is quite a strong compliment. But you watch his tape, just the tenacity that he plays with, the awareness, the IQ to go up and put his body where it needs to be to break up passes, like to punch through catch points, is beyond impressive. There's some cleanup work. He's not perfect, but if there is ever a silver lining to come out of this, is that we will see Sidney Brown likely start at safety instead of Reed Blankenship. The downside is he's going to be starting, and you're going to have Josh Jobe. I've just been informed it's Jobe and not Joby. That's because I'm English, and I'm thinking Kobe probably. Anyway, look, Obi-Wan Josh Joby isn't probably going to be the guy. I think it's going to be Keely Ringo. But either way, you're going to have potentially 2 rookies side by side, hand in hand, brothers in arms. One at the top, one on the side, one in the pink, one in the stick. It's going to be slightly worrying, especially if they do start moving Justin Jefferson around. If the Eagles stick to zone for it doesn't even matter if it's 1 or 2 plays, and then you see Justin Jefferson move across the line of scrimmage like he can do, and Darius Slay's going to be watching him go over going, fuck's sake. Like, there is a problem there. There is a problem there. However, it does a little bit get balanced out, and we're going to get back to that now. So back onto the injuries. Obviously, Fletcher Cox is questionable. I didn't put that on there. He is questionable, so he should be good to go. And Nakobe Dean, we think, is on injured reserve for at least 4 weeks, so that's not brilliant. Again, it doesn't help that you've got your starting Mike gone, starting safety gone, CB2 gone. That is literally half of your defense on the left-hand side evaporated. Now, all you've got to do, really, if you're the Minnesota Vikings, is realize that they're not the greatest team, okay? They've got some issues, and I would rather address those now before we get to their injuries, because it does come in tandem. I promise I'm not ignoring your comments. I've just got pictures, and I feel very good about this. So bear with me. Let's talk Vikings week 1 for a sec. We just mentioned TJ Hawkinson, okay? 34 yards on 8 receptions. If you had this man in DraftKings, if you had him in PPR leagues, if you had him in whatever, you're probably a happy man. It's the only time you're going to get good points for, 34 yards worth of production. It's genuinely impressive. Like, it's some level of production to get that many points off of 34 yards. That takes some doing. Fair enough, TJ. So you've got a problem there with Kirk Cousins, where he's got a lot of volume going towards a tight end that is a multiple-time Pro Bowler or All-Pro, I believe. We know the ability he can play to, and you're now going to get to a stage where Nakobe Dean is out, which he wasn't already the greatest pass protection linebacker. Let's forget, or pass coverage, I should say, linebacker. Your starting safety's gone, so Reed Blankenship being able to come down in the box, that's an issue. Justin Evans, I should say, was very wobbly in week 1. That's not great. So there's already concerns there. That it's not ideal. If you're looking for a bet, TJ Hawkinson. We'll talk about that in just a second. I do have another image related to the second player on this screen. I went back and watched the game. Minnesota wanted to do some scouting reports for you. Also on Rashaan Evans. We'll get to him a little bit later on. But Ed Ingram is the man that has been given a lot of blame for Minnesota's what may as well have been an 18-sack affair on Sunday against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It just doesn't make sense how the guy can be on his arse the entire game, still throw 44 times and not do anything. Like, they scored 17 points with 44 pass attempts. It's not on. Not with an offense that good. So it all correlates. You've got a quarterback that's throwing 44 times and being put on his arse every other play. You've got a running back that isn't Dalvin Cook and he's only getting 33 yards. Something about that number 34 today. That's two players who've got it now. And an offensive line that was miserable, including man Ed Ingram. Now let's talk about Ed Ingram. There he is. You can spot him here. He's number 67. What he appears to have done here is his most infamous Jamon Brown impression and just twatted the ball out of Kirk Cousins' hands during a snap. This is live football. This isn't Photoshop. Kirk isn't like shoveling it off like a rugby ball. This man literally punched it. It's like he doesn't want to play football. It's like he genuinely bet on the Bucks. He bet the under on the points. I don't know what this man's prior motive was, but it's not great. And he's now going to have to put up with the fact that the likes of Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Nolan Smith, Hassan Reddick, all of them are going to be eyeing up the fact that there is no Garrett Bradbury. Now it comes back. See where we're going full circle here? The graphics, we're telling a story, all right? We're going Star Wars Episode 2 now. Garrett Bradbury is starting center, went out of last game with an injury, gone. This man, your starting right guard, number 67, who decides to try and punch the ball out of Kirk Cousins' hands, he's in. He's staying. He's going absolutely nowhere, which means the Eagles now have a very profound opportunity to capitalize on that, to neutralize that offense. We know the run defense should be good. There's enough bulk up front to stop it. We know that realistically, the Vikings offensive line is terrible. And we know the Eagles defensive line is very good. As we established the other day, the likes of Jalen Carter, I believe it was Reddick as well, ended up in like the top 5 get-offs of the week or something like that, of top 5 quickest get-offs. So they're going to be coming at you quick. Carter, the only reason he didn't really feast against New England was because Mac Jones' average release was like 2 seconds or something stupid. He was getting the ball out at the speed of sound. And that's what you have to do. We spoke about that again on Monday, where if you want to beat this Eagles team, you've got to get the ball out quick. You've got to take advantage of the fact there'll be soft coverage. The defensive line's going to come quick. It's the only thing you can do is run curls, comeback, slants, dumps, screens, whatever. Get the ball out and just try and get yards after the catch as much as you can. It's what Mac Jones did. Kirk isn't going to do that because, you know, he's a bit of a gunslinger. He's got a bit about him, a bit of argy-bargy. He thinks he's a bit of a hustler, and he's going to start slinging it. That will give opportunities to the secondary because he is going to sit in the pocket. More importantly, it's going to give opportunities to Jalen Carter and company. So basically, that's my tale of the tape for the Eagles and Vikings so far. Just want to quick say hello to you guys. Lee, you have a quite clever British way of saying someone had too many at the pub. I need to explain to Bills fans what happened to Josh Allen. Do I have a clever British way? I don't know. I mean, getting wankered would be the obvious one. Wankered, twatted, sloshed. For you to, yeah, there's no like paralytic would be one. But I don't know. It was just a bit of a bozo. It was bozo ball. Josh Allen bozo ball is the only way I can describe it, I think. We've also got a few weird comments. We'll get back to the lovely screenshots soon. Matt, again, with some... I'm amazed it wasn't Matt that asked me if I skied on the podcast that time. This is interesting, okay? This is about as good as it gets, Eagles discussion-wise. That took 14 minutes. I tried so hard to keep this show on track. I made pretty pictures. I came with analysis. I had numbers. What's better, big dogs, small dogs, or medium-sized dogs? The answer. Medium. I've got a Jack Russell, a family Jack Russell. Yeah, I feel like big dogs just scare me a little bit. I'm one of those guys. If you've ever seen the UK TV show Friday Night Dinner, I'm like the neighbour. You'll know what I'm on about. If not, look it up. It's great. Yeah, I don't know. Big dogs showing teeth. I don't know. Ever since I was a kid, bit nippy. Like, I can handle a Jack Russell because you can just kick it. Not literally. It's a joke. It's fine. Don't have to call the authorities. But like, they're little. You can obviously they're not as intimidating. I can't lie. Although I have to say today, before we get back onto Eagles topic, I did puppy sit earlier, but up since 6 a.m. And you just have to see a picture of the puppy in question because my word, little baby Labrador, 10 weeks old. I just think we need some appreciation for that, really. So, again, Labradors will be big dogs. I would say mediums. But, yeah, the show's back. The show is back. No, Liam kicks dogs. See, this is the Liam and Cat thing all over again. Do you think Swift gets more snaps than a poetry jam? Well, that's more than one, I think. More than one last one. If he doesn't get snaps this week, there is a clear issue. And we've had this before. It feels like every year in Philadelphia, there is some sort of a running back problem, okay? I think, was it 2 years ago? Miles Sanders randomly just didn't get any snaps, and it was a big deal, and everyone was kicking off, and it was like the whole run the ball committee was a movement for about 3 weeks until Sanders broke off like an 84-yarder against. That is a very vivid memory. Like an 84-yarder against the Steelers. Everyone was then getting very jerk happy, saying how amazing he is. And I was like, he had about 18 runs for a yard and then one for 84. I don't think it's that encouraging. I'd like to think I've been proved right because he didn't stay in Philly, but that's either here nor there again. Yeah. Anyway, back on topic. I do think DeAndre Swift should get some snaps realistically because there is no one else. Like someone like Rashard Penny shouldn't have been a healthy scratch. I don't know who they prioritized over Penny that would have made an impact in that game. Realistically, I'm not sure. I have to check he was actually up on that day, but I'm sure he could have expended, I don't know, like some extra defensive tackle. Like I don't know. I know he's not on the roster, but someone like Marlon Tuipulotu would have been a candidate. You know what I mean? So one of those guys like 4th, 5th down. Justin Evans actually get him off. Put Aaron Tipos at safety would have been much better. And you know, have him on that way. But Penny should be your third active back. As Matt says there. Yeah, Contavious Street. Yeah, perfect. Gone. Get him out. Gone. And I'll take Rashard Penny because you need that. I think if you're going to have a backfield that versatile, I know they haven't invested anything in it, but you've got an array of backs that can contribute. And if you're just going to consistently like toy with it, I don't know. I don't know. Swift should be the guy. He proved in preseason. He proved in training camp. He proved in joint practices. He's still as explosive as he ever has been. He's going to be dangerous. I don't know why he got so little action. The only thing I can think of is that Kenny Gainwell and him are very similar backs, and there wouldn't have been an advantage to giving him the reps that Gainwell would have gotten. But then you may as well not sign him in the first place. So I don't know. Again, like there's a lot there. I'd like to think that DeAndre Swift will be the guy. Interestingly, as my hair falls apart, I need to read this out as well. This is Eagles rated, I promise. I need to try and find it now. I didn't come prepared for this bit, but I'm in a fantasy league, the PSN Fantasy League. And there was a quote here from Nick Sirianni about DeAndre Swift that says, be in that role sometimes where he carries the load for the game, and he'll be in that role sometimes like he was last game. Okay. What does that tell us about anything? There's no like, yeah, that won't be the norm. You know, it'll be getting 5-6 carries a game minimum. He's just got so some days he'll get the ball, some days he won't. Sorry about that. So, brilliant. Cheers for that, Nick. That's great. If you got DeAndre Swift in fantasy, you are already in a world of trouble. We'll go that far anyway. But yeah, I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I think he should be getting like lead caps. 18 minutes in, 9 likes. Right. If you are watching this, guys, okay. As Matt says, don't forget to like the stream. What we are doing, if we get 26 likes, we have to get more likes than the Eagles scored points on Sunday against the Patriots. If we get 26, we will do a giveaway for a random Eagles item on Fanatics. I can't screen share because I'm on my iPad, but I'll find something on my phone on stream and I will give it to a random person in the chat. We'll organize it out. We'll get it sent out. It'll be lovely. But to be part of it, you've got to like it. We've got to get to 26. We've got to struggle if the Eagles put up like a 50 burger at any point. That's going to be a quibble. But for now, this is manageable. All right, we can all rally together. I've even liked my own stream. So that's one off for you. That leaves you at 25. I believe in you. You want an Eagles keyring. You want an Eagles pair of slippers. I know you do. Don't lie to me. I know you too well. Anyway, right. Eagles experimenting with D-line shifts. What would be your 4? Or what is your before? I'm assuming that's like what would be my 4 defensive linemen. It's tricky, isn't it? When you do I mean, in an ideal world, it would be Carter and Davis because they do complement each other quite well. Probably Brandon Graham and Josh Sweat. And then you'd have Nolan Smith as the outside linebacker coming off the edge, I suppose, or like just coming down on a blitz. But that's obviously separate. I wouldn't stop. If we're just doing anyone, I'd put Reddick one side, Smith the other. Get rid of BG and Sweat, but you can't do that obviously for varying reasons. Yeah, long term, I'd like to think that'd be a great front four if there was ever a formation for just those guys. But this is fluid, so it moves around quite a lot. But that would be the four I would go for sure. Yeah, there we go. That's basically Marshall Lynch. Great minds think alike. Talking of Eagles linebackers, talking of everything else that has gone tits up. Let's look at that one more time, just for comedic value. I don't know what's going on there. It just makes me laugh. I might even say as my background. Motivation to not be Ed Ingram. What a name, what a man. I spoke earlier about Rashaan Evans and that I did a little bit of scouting on him. And now the anticipation begins, ladies and gentlemen. How do I feel about Rashaan Evans? I can't show tape. I can't give a film review. What I can do is give you a scout report. I watched a few games tape on him. This is going to lead to an avenue I didn't want to go down. It's going to lead to a debate I didn't want to have. And you're all going to be very disappointed with me because I don't like the signing at all. I mean, I do and I don't. And you'll see why. Okay, so let's get with the good stuff. Good size for a linebacker. Played at Alabama. That's the obvious thing. There you go. If you've got a bingo card at home, ladies and gentlemen, sat in front of your screens, make sure you tick off played for Alabama or Georgia. He is only the 73rd Eagle this month to do so. So Rashaan Evans comes in with that pedigree, probably why they signed him. He's also, believe it or not, a freak athlete. Didn't run a 40, so I couldn't find the actual time, but he has got insane sideline-to-sideline speed. And he just reminds me, and this is where it's all going to go a bit tits up, genuinely. Someone actually, take it back. Read that description and someone tell me what I'm going to say. Tell me the player I'm thinking of. Okay, 6'3", rapid athlete, moves side to side very quickly, very good against the run, but coverage is just not there, really. It's like a defensive tackle almost at times in pass coverage, like coverage itself. Anyone tell me what I'm thinking of? I'll give you about 30 seconds. I don't, obviously there's a delay, so that doesn't help. So I have to try and wing this while you guys do reply. I'll ruin it for you. Davion Taylor. It's a mix of Davion Taylor and Alex Singleton. You've got rid of Davion Taylor, finally taking the L, going, it didn't pan out, he didn't play enough football, that sort of thing. Kazir White, okay, I get Kazir White. I understand, that's a fair comparison. It makes sense. I would have got, to be fair, I was more for the angle of anger going for Davion Taylor. But yeah, Kazir White, if he was accomplished, that's what I'd definitely put in. But you've just lost a player in Davion Taylor. He was rapid, but had no functional ability. Rashaan Evans is better than that, but he was on a 7-win Seahawks team. He was good against the run, but that's it. He would blow up there. He would be used on almost exclusively on blitzing in the games I watched, blitzing down to the middle or storming into the A gap or following with a running back outside. And if he's on a running back, he's fine. If he's having to sit back and pass off a tight end and hold his spot or whatever, he just gets stuck in the mud. He just gets a little bit iffy. And it's Nakobe Dean, I would say, is more accomplished from game one. From what I saw, I haven't seen you all 22 from the Eagles game, but I would say from what I saw from Nakobe Dean, I would have more confidence with him in pass coverage than Rashaan Evans. So, yeah, a lot of people are excited. They're like, oh my God, I said Seahawks on Monday. Apologies for that. It was Titans, playing blue, same thing. But yeah, a lot of people are excited. Former Titans first rounder, expecting a bit of greatness, expecting, there's a bit of prestige there. Played for Alabama. There's all the links. You watch the tape and it's just, genuinely, go one better, right? If you watch any highlight video of him, I guarantee you 90% of it is just beeline. It is just running straight downhill. Everything of it. And that's not a problem if that's what your skill set is. It's not a problem if you've got 3 linebackers, 2 of which are brilliant in coverage up and down vertically, or safeties you can come into the box and you can free reign, just like TJ Edwards, just like Alex Singleton used to do. Alex Singleton was one of the best run defenders I think Philly's seen in the last 5 years. The way he could scrape the offensive line, the way he could actually get down dirty in the run, he tackled very cleanly. He made a lot of plays behind the scrimmage. He was fun. He was efficient. But you put him in coverage and it just wasn't there. And that's the same thing with Rashaan Evans. You've just gone for the same linebacker. You have a core need for a player. Your Mike linebacker went down in training camp, Nakobe Dean. The alarm bell should have gone off then. This is a guy that did have some injury concern coming out of college. Did it never quite occur he might go down again? There could be a slight chance of reoccurrence of some degree for other injuries. If not, fair enough. You've now got Christian Ellis and Nicholas Morrow at linebacker. Fan dabby dozy. But you've left it again too little too late. And it's just, it's the equivalent of the guy that just can't get over his ex, and then he gets a new girlfriend, and they look very similar. And, instead of called Sarah, she's called Sarah. And instead of ginger, she's strawberry blonde. And instead of playing the flute, she plays the clarinet. Like, you go for the same girls because you're trying to fill a hole. And that's sort of what has happened here. I think a lot of people have misinterpreted that signing as someone that's going to come in for Nakobe Dean. Like, Nakobe's gone down. Great, they've brought in a Mike linebacker. They haven't. It's just an outside guy that can play the run, which means you've still got avoiding pass coverage, as you've had coming into this year, as you had coming into last year, and as you had coming into the year before that. And at some point, that's got to end. At some point, there has to be justice for linebackers. I don't know where that's going to be, but it hurts. I just want it to end. Let's get to some of your comments. That was my rant. I was saving that for a little while. Let's have a look. Kazir White was a solid tackler. I love the Kazir White signing. I was genuinely a massive fan of it. I don't think it was as impressive as I'd hoped in my head, but it was solid for sure. Davian was impressive. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, not how I would have worded it. Fair enough. Yeah, he was obviously he missed football because of he only had 2 seasons of football, wasn't it? Because of religious reasons. So they did get a very raw athlete, and they just hoped he'd come on, and he didn't. But then again, you get a raw athlete in someone like Jordan Mailata, and he becomes an all-pro. Having said that, he wasn't great on Sunday. And there's been a trend, I think, over the past year or so, where Mailata hasn't looked great in pass protection. He's been kind of knocked off his perch a few times. Mr. Sandman says, I watched you all 22. Mailata and Johnson got ball rush into the QB. Hurts didn't have any time on key downs. Yeah, I saw a couple of the all 22 clips servicing on Twitter. Mailata definitely got sort of knocked off again. He's perched quite a lot. I'm not sure what it is, because it was always a thing where he'd struggle to keep his weight forward, if that makes sense. Top heavy, he'd kind of be back. I can't explain it on camera, but he would just be top heavy. He would be bottom heavy. So because he's got that thick base, he's used to obviously at rugby tackle. I'd like to think that we're talking past the point of that now, because he's been in the league 5 years. But he would initially struggle with the weight being too far back, and that would allow him to get pushed off. And then he sort of fixed it. I don't really know. I've not seen his. I need to go and have a look genuinely, because I know he got beaten more than I think a lot of people realised last year. He wasn't as proficient as he was in 2021. Yeah, I don't know. He's not bad. Don't get me wrong. He's still a great tackle. He's still a very solid top 10, top 15 starting tackle in the NFL, no doubt. But definitely some areas in the run, fantastic. In the pass, there's just some times where that kickback, I think, maybe he's a bit too open, and he can be on his back heels, and that's it. I don't know. I need to do some digging. But it would be on brand for PSN, because it was the Mailata content that did get us going originally, wasn't it? On the YouTube channel. Did I watch Oppenheimer? And what you take away from the movie about football, the one with the most eggful? I have not seen Oppenheimer. I've not. Or Barbie, for that matter. So there you are. I'm that boring. I don't know. I've been meaning to go and see it, and then I was going to see it with my girlfriend, and she went and saw it with her friends. Or she saw Barbie with her friends, and I was like, okay, well, I want to see Oppenheimer, and she was like, I'm seeing it with someone like my dad, so I was like, okay. Yeah, I want to see it. I might find I won't find a stream. Yeah, so I can't take anything away other than the fact that man makes big bomb, blows up world. So kind of like Howie and the Eagles when he traded Carson Wentz. That would be my takeaway, having not seen the film. Yeah, make that what you will. Look, Taylor was a lottery ticket. You take a lottery ticket in the 6th round, not the 3rd. Yeah, I agree. I think he was definitely taken too high. And again, I could be wrong about Rashaan Evans, but he looks like, I don't know. He doesn't look like a linebacker at all. When you watch him play, he's very gangly, and not in a bad way. Because look at my arms. We all know 38-inch vertical. Okay, I'm basically a college athlete myself. But he doesn't look like a linebacker. He looks a bit more like a safety, like a very tall safety, just jumping about. That's the wrong image to give. Just some slender man guy, just creeping around the defense side to side. He's not that bad, but it's enough to be like, he's got an advantage there. I think he can sometimes get a little bit caught on his heels in transition. He's a little bit stiff, and that can be troublesome in pass protection. We've hit the half-hour mark, so I'm going to quickly have a drink. And before we do, I mean water, by the way. Not look. I understand the reason why you might think, I mean, taking some alcohol, because I've got my mental health on the injury report. But I promise you, it's only water. I promise. But before we go, for a quick 30-second break, have to say, if you haven't signed up already and you are over the age of 21 years old and you are in the land of Americana, there is a way you can actually get a free Eagles jersey right now, and I definitely recommend it. I wouldn't just put this on you for no reason. You know, I don't spam stuff for the sake of it. Obviously, we promote like betting offers on PSN, but this is one like I genuinely haven't seen value-wise ever. So essentially, sign up to PointsBet. You deposit $50 and you bet on anything over a -500 line. So you can put like a -450 favorite to win and get like $52 back. Free money. You just keep your $50. But as soon as you place that $50 bet, PointsBet will actually email you a code for Fanatics for $150. And what just so happens to be on Fanatics for $150? Kelly Green Eagles jerseys. So help yourself. Like, it's a free Eagles jersey if you bet a $50 wager on literally anything you want. There's a link in the description that takes you straight to sign up. Very easy to do so. You just have to be over the age of 21, obviously. And just make sure you gamble responsibly and don't put your house on the Eagles to win this week. But yeah, obviously, it's just a great way to get yourself a free Eagles jersey. Again, links in the description if you want it. I'm going to quickly have a glass of water. I'm going to find my little video to play in the background while I go. I'll be 2 seconds. Oh, bollocks, I've left the image on. Oh, my mic's not even muted. That's gone brilliantly. Okay, that's a clip somewhere. We're back, by the way, everyone. Hello. You can tell, very smooth here. Mr. Sandman says, hey, Leo, I did my ancestry DNA test, and it said I was 15% English. We're basically related. You may as well be living here right now. You're probably on my sofa just kipping. I'll come over and give you a drink. Take me to Stonehenge so I can activate my superpowers. I don't think I've even got superpowers, but I've also never been to Stonehenge. Or like anywhere. I saw Buckingham Palace once, and I was just like, all right. There was sort of like if the flag's up, the Queen's in. If it's down, she's away. Obviously now it's down all the time because she's dead. So that's not brilliant. But I just saw it and was like, well, you can't go in, so it's not. I don't know. I don't get excited by. So I feel like nature. Like if I was to go and see like the Grand Canyon, I'd be a bit more breathtaking. But like a palace, I'm just like, okay. Or something. Do you know? It doesn't bother me. So anyway, again, every time look how much I prepared for this stream. I got you a picture of Ed Ingram. I got lovely graphics, and every time we end up discussing Buckingham Palace and the Great Wall of China and small dogs. I know it's the brand. It's what I've signed up for. It makes my life. I love it so much. I just don't want you guys to get bored of it because I wouldn't change it for the world. Like I genuinely look forward to all the chaos, the shithousery, the comments that you guys bring. Makes my life. Just don't ever change. I'm so happy we've got a little corner of the internet where we can just do this. I love it. It's my favorite thing, and I'm so happy to be back. Hey, Dirk, how are you doing? How are you feeling ahead of this Thursday evening game? I'm not feeling great. Purely because it starts at 1 a.m. Nothing to do with the game. It starts at 1 a.m. for me. As you can see, my eyes are red. I'm tired. I was up since 6 a.m. this morning. So AEW's on tonight. I've got to watch that. That's just it's the rule. I can't miss it. Can't get spoiled on Twitter the next day. It's the worst. So then I'll wake up early tomorrow for some errands, and then just somehow I might do a little nap, maybe, and then hope I can stay out. It starts at 1, so the game will be finished by about 5, recap by 6, bed by 7, regretting everything by 12, and that's. I love going to sleep when the sun comes up. Love it. We should do NFC's breakdown. Yeah, okay, cool. All right, well, we'll get to that in a sec. Let's do that in a minute. So we'll chat to Jay Fizz. How do you feel about our offensive coordinator, and what gives you the confidence in him going forward? Not a lot. Nah, I'm kidding. I feel overall, I feel okay because the relationship with Jalen Hurts is there. Okay, like he's known he knows Jalen better than anyone other than family. I would say he's known him since he was 5. Obviously, there was a relationship with his dad, and then didn't he try to recruit him to Mississippi State? I think Brian Johnson tried to get Hurts at Mississippi State. MISSISSPI. That's how you spell Mississippi. Tried to get into Mississippi State, didn't work out. Obviously, now reunited in Philly, it's all lovely. So you understand the player you're getting, the type of offense he needs. Johnson was his quarterback coach last year. There is a difference going from QB coach to offensive coordinator, but at the same time, there's no other. Unless I'm not sure. Was he a pass game analyst last year or not? I don't actually remember if he was. So I'll have to look it up. If he was pass game coordinator, or analyst, whatever it is, I'd be a lot less worried. It's going to take time. There's going to be teething problems. There's going to be concerns. There's going to be games where everything just falls apart. It's going to be games where everything looks magically in sync. That's just part of growing an offense. It doesn't help, like we said, there was no preseason to fine-tune anything. And the preseason that was there, the starters weren't in, so you're building an offense that's very vanilla for third stringers. Like, there's only so far you can go with that. He was pass game coordinator. Okay, done with the knowledge. There we go. That's why this community beats any other on the planet. Matt is trying to just lure me in with he knows I've got a weakness for lambdonomy, and he's trying to sucker me in. I'm trying to stay on topic, and I'm getting hungry, and it's not good. We've got Swiss cheese there by Dart. I can see in the comments. There's too much food going on. Okay, I'm gonna lose. It's like scene like Madagascar where Marty gets hearts in it or rib steaks in his eyes or whatever. I'm gonna start doing that in a minute. Okay, so he was part of the game planning team. He was pass game coordinator. That for me is enough confidence in Brian Johnson to it was one game. I have withstood a Mike Groh offense for an entire year and then some. I'm okay with a Brian Johnson offense that won a game for now. Okay, there is no reason for me to be concerned. Realistically, you could give it to a 7-year-old, that offense, and tell him to hit random give him 5 buttons, all right? Red, green, yellow, blue, orange, okay? On a TV remote, whatever. And every time he pushes a button, it's a different play. Green for run left, blue for pass verticals, like Madden. And I guarantee with the players on that offense, they would still put up 20 points a game. If it was blind play calling by a child, because the talent is too good. There's way too much star power. AJ Brown's a top 10 receiver. Devontae Smith, I would say, is a top 10 receiver. Dallas Goedert's a top 5 tight end. The offensive line's one of the best in football. The backfield should be one of the best in football. And Jalen Hurts is a top 5 quarterback. That is enough. You don't have to do anything else. I'm fine with Brian Johnson. I think a lot of it was on execution. It compounded each other. Bad play calling is one thing. Bad execution is another. If you get them both, it just looks messy across the board. I think that's kind of what we had on Monday. But I'm not really too concerned with Brian Johnson. I was all for BJ. We're all for BJs in this house, guys. All right, we are all for BJs. I was very much a big fan of BJ coming in. That wasn't even intentional. That wasn't intentional, but I'll be doing stand-up gigs before you know it. I was a big fan of BJ coming into this year. I can't say it without laughing. Anyway, just based off of the fact that Jalen Hurts took such a seismic leap. He was his quarterback coach. He obviously facilitated a lot of that growth. I understood there was going to be, teething problems. But if the quarterback is the hub of your offense, if the quarterback is the engine, and you've got a guy able to drive the car, that if you got Max Verstappen in a terrible car, it's still going to go pretty well, okay? If you got Max Verstappen in a Red Bull, he's going to dominate everyone. And that's what we have, I think, realistically, is that the car is built around Jalen Hurts. He's just got to drive it. And all BJ has to do is sit on the pit wall and go, yeah, keep the pace up. You're doing great. Yeah, do that. And easy. I think he's fine. No cause for concern whatsoever. Ground lamb season, white sauce, hot sauce. Turmeric. I've only just discovered turmeric. I went to my supermarket the other week, and I got a load of spices and stuff. And I made, like I said, did I mention chicken wraps? Is this how I got onto this the other day? I started making chicken wraps, and I got obsessed with chicken wraps, to a point where I had it for my dinner every day for 2 weeks. Just religiously, just chicken wraps, all the spices on, all the mayo. So I feel you. But there is nothing better than a kebab. Nothing beats a kebab. Other than a BJ. That is You know, this show is. I'm so lucky. This show is like in the evening my time. We're over the watershed. But I did find out the other day or earlier today that my big boss watched Monday's stream. I hope he didn't catch me talking about BJ's. I might be getting fired, but just don't tell anyone. It's our secret. We'll be fine. Yeah, dude. Look, we've been through this on Monday. I don't want to relive it. It killed me. I cannot fathom it. I've tried to forget it and move on. You know when you have like an argument with your partner and then you go, no, we're fine, we'll make up because you just want an easy life because you don't have the energy to argue anymore and it's petty, so you just go, yeah, whatever. And then you know that for the next month you're going to passive aggressively bring it up and you get bitter and you just can't let it go. That's me in that game. That is me in that final 2 minutes because I do not understand how you go from 2 minutes 11 seconds with the other team having 3 timeouts to them giving the ball away before the 2 minute warning, having burnt 4 plays. I don't get it. And then the Patriots come back. Somehow the Eagles stop them. And then they ruin it again. They ruin it a second time. They blow 2 drives in 2 minutes. That is stupid. That is some effort. It's almost harder to blow the drives. There's too much blowing in this chat right now. It's almost harder to ruin the drives than it is to succeed. All you've got to do is protect the football. It's not hard. They're going to play soft coverage because they don't want you coming 10 yards. Just dump it. Throw a pass to keep the clock moving. Get 3 yards and then run. But this whole play format of passing on first down doesn't work. Oh, no, run on first down. Sorry, it was a run on first down, goes for 2 yards. Great. Second pass incomplete. Jalen Hurts sails it 50 yards in the air. Run on 3rd and 9. That's a new one. Run on 3rd and 9. And that's just happened routinely throughout that game, I feel like. There was always a run on 3rd and long for some reason. And then, that's a shame. What happened? What happened there? I don't understand. That's got to stop. Whoever's that on, whether it's an RPO and it's a check on Jalen Hurts, whether it's Brian Johnson, whether it's Sirianni, stop it before I get angry. That is a command from this podcast. You will not like me when I'm angry. This voice goes high. If you've seen that new website that was doing the rounds on social media, where it's like the Chad voice test, where like you just talk into your microphone and it records the hertz of your voice, not the Jalen's, but you know, the actual hertz of your voice. And if you get like below 90, you got quite a Chad voice. Quite, yeah, man, what's up, guys? Like, fly was fly, bro. And obviously I'm here going, yeah, hello, everyone. So mine came out like the equivalent of a teenage girl. So brilliant. You won't like me when I'm angry because I will break your eardrums with that voice. You don't want that. You don't want that. Let's get back to the to the comments. Maybe let's not go back to the comments. Maybe let's not. This is what I'm stressed with the OC, the QB. Yeah, the QB draw on 3rd down was ridiculous. I don't know why that happened. But we can hope it changes. We've got what, like a day. We've got 24 hours to figure out how it's going to change. I think they wanted to outsmart you. Yeah, but did we not be through that with like the whole Doug Peterson thing of like you just outsmart yourself after a while? It did feel very much that vibe, isn't it? That after one half of play, it was clear the Eagles were just like almost not taking it seriously. It felt like there's playing down to your opponent, and then there's like not. Just like, throw the ball over there. Lane, you silly goose. You gave him a bloody... I had to run away. I had to run away. Like, you can't do that in the regular season on the road in week 1 against Bill Belichick. He's going to have your ass for breakfast. And it was just too much of this, like, office-level shenanigans going on. But, it wasn't as bad as that. That's fine. Again, if you just join in, that is Ed Ingram of the Vikings punching a ball out of his quarterback's hands. So it wasn't that bad. We didn't Jamon Brown it, but it was bad enough to raise concern. And that's something we have to just be aware of for sure moving into the next bit. All right, we're on 17 likes. Guys, if you don't want a pair of Eagle slippers, just say, look, maybe you're going to ramp it up. Maybe we have to move it to a jersey for next show. The Clayton Thorson song has been mentioned. Should we drop it? Maybe. I'll tell you what. Right, I'll make you a deal now. If we don't get to 25 likes, that's your punishment. It's either you get a prize or you get the Clayton Thorson song. So unlike the video now, get it all back down to 3 so it has no chance of coming in, and I'll sing the Clayton Thorson song for you. There you go. That's what you get. All right, look, we go to 25 more points or more likes than the Eagles scored points on Sunday for a prize. And as you can see, that has been met with an almighty positive response of the Clayton Dawson song. Just relentless praise there from the chat. They cannot wait to hear these dulcet tones flying through your speakers, probably breaking them in the process. So look, it's been set. It's been set. You know what you've got to do. Let's do something fun. So I did make an image for this. I did run out of time. But I know we mentioned earlier the PointsBet Eagles offer, okay? So this one here, if you are just joining us, sign up to PointsBet, bet at $50. There you go. Thanks very much, Carl, if Carl's your name. If not, they'll replace that with whatever your name is. And they will send you a voucher for $150 for Fanatics. Where you can spend that on an Eagles jersey of your choice for free. No strings attached, no dodgy catch. That rhymes, I live in the thatch. You can just sign up, deposit, bet $50, get a free Eagles jersey. It's that damn simple. But what, Liam, you say, what if I want to bet $50 and I want to win big? You know, what if I wanted some props? What if I want some prop bets for Thursday night football? I've got you covered. I've got you covered. I can't turn the screen off. There we are. Right. So I've made some prop bets. I have a list of them here. There's no graphic for this. But this is what I'm going to be backing for Thursday night football. I've got 1, 2, 3, conveniently 4 prop bets. 3 of them are Vikings. So there's that, I suppose. Sorry. But they make sense. Number 1, Jordan Addison to score any time is plus 215. I think that is insane value because there is no James Bradbury. There is no Reblank. I've just deleted my note. Hang on. I've just deleted my... No. Oh, I've got it. All right. Close. Oh, that was close. See, only get the best, most professional. You know, you can have your all Philly media, whatever it's called. You don't get that. You don't get me deleting my own script in the middle of a stream. Yeah. No CV1, no safety one, no Mike linebacker. Darius Slay is going to be ideally glued to Justin Jefferson like his life depended on it. He's going to be stuck to him like, I don't know, really. Something sticky, probably. A fly in a honey pot. There you go. Have that one. You can tell I'm running out of energy. But the point is, Jordan Addison is going to have a lot of opportunities to rip the Eagles to shreds. He's very capable of doing so. He proved it in week 1. He had 65 yards, I believe, in week 1 and a touchdown. An anytime touchdown scorer, Jordan Addison, plus 215 is very, very good value. I think Justin Jefferson's minus 110. Hurts is about minus 120. That's a lot of value for a guy who's lining up against a backup corner and a backup safety. I think Addison has got upside there. From a betting perspective, I don't want it to happen. I can feel the energy. Look, just leave me alone. Anyway, second one on the same note. This is going to go down like a cup of cold sick, isn't it? TJ Hockenson, over 54.5 yards. He had 8 receptions for 34. We established it earlier. 8 receptions for 34 yards. 8. He caught 8 passes and they went nowhere. So that's not going to happen, especially without a Mike linebacker. Hawkinson's going to get yards. I don't think the Vikings win, by the way, but Hawkinson's going to get his. 54 yards is gettable at plus 120. Number 3, Jalen Hurts over 44 rushing yards. Kenny Gainwell isn't there. DeAndre Swift is apparently working in Wawa, and Rashad Penny isn't active. Obviously, they're both going to be active. They're both going to contribute, but I think there will be more of an emphasis, especially if the passing game does struggle. If Jalen Hurts does still struggle behind that offensive line, like the Vikings' defensive line is good. The rest of it is wallop. So I think there's a real chance that Hurts starts taking off again. And I would much rather bet he's over rushing than him to score anytime touchdowns. I think there's much more upside with that. And finally, Alex Mattison under 54 yards. Excuse me. Purely because the guy carried I don't know how many carries he had, but it was 34 yards. It was miserable. Absolutely miserable. The guy's not Dalvin Cook. The offensive line's terrible. It's missing its starting center, and that's your right guard. There is no way Alex Mattison should be getting 35 plus yards on this Eagles team, especially if it is going to be part of a little committee they've got going on. So there are my bets again. Jordan Addison to score any time. Hockenson over 54 yards. Hurts over 44 rushing yards. And Mattison under 54 rushing yards. So those guys all put together, you can whack them in a parlay, probably make some money on it. But there you go. That's how I'm back in Thursday Night Football. Anything else you guys want to go over? I did see there was a question somewhere about England, I'm pretty sure. Or did I imagine that? My first order will be to make cheesesteaks with whiz a national dish in the UK. I'll tell you what it should be. If you don't know, I'm not sure how well known this is, but there is a Philadelphia restaurant I was going to say in Philadelphia, obviously there is. Philadelphia themed restaurant in London called Passyunk Avenue. My favourite place to go. Any excuse to go. I live 5 hours away from London. Any excuse to go, just to go to Passyunk, I will take 10 days out of 10. Genuine. If I need a bottle of milk, I'll go to London. Don't worry about it. I'll nip to Passyunk. I'll get some there. It's amazing. The guy that owns it is from Philadelphia. That's why it's named Passyunk Avenue. I'm pretty sure that's where he grew up. Also, a great album by Major League, if you're a pop punk fan, by the way. But I'm pretty sure he imports the bread from Philadelphia, so it's softer. Because it's a softer bread than like a baguette, isn't it? It's like a nice cushy pillow. So I think he imports the bread. I don't know about the meat, but they do have whiz and Ivan Provorov provolone, that they have that there. So it's an authentic cheesesteak. And I spoke to people from Philly in there that were there at the time, and they said it's about on par with the touristy ones. I can't remember the name of the one they suggested, because there's obviously everyone's got their own favorite cheesesteak venue. And that you always get told to go to the little ones, don't you? That there's this little place off that corner on that one, and no one knows about, and it's so that's great. So I get to taste a lot of cheesesteaks when I come out. But they said it's on par with a Pat's and a Geno's. So there you are. It's my national dish. I love a cheesesteak. Any excuse to get one, I love it. Passyunk do an amazing job. So if anyone is coming over again for the Phillies baseball games next year, do let me know. Do go to Passyunk. Now, I'm sure they'll have events on. I'm pretty sure they had Chase Utley in for the World Series. I think he lives in London or has some business in London, something or other. And they got him to actually go to this restaurant for a watch along. But yeah, it's not just cheesesteaks. The whole place is blocked out. You've got Philadelphia jerseys everywhere. You've got flat screens where they play the most recent Phillies or Eagles or Flyers game or whatever. They show, what's that beer called? Blue Moon? Yeah, I think it's Blue Moon. I had a Blue Moon. Quite nice. I liked it. I think I had a couple. I enjoyed it. So there you go. I knew I got that bit right. Yeah. I knew I got that bit right. So yeah, there you go. It's got a name. An Amoroso roll? Is that an Amaroso? I'm tired. Amoroso. It's not that hard, Liam. Amoroso. Guess a grip. Right, that one. Does Trey hit another home run? I've not followed baseball as much as I should, really. I know I have to write the betting preview sort of most days for it. I go mostly off stats and kind of go watch the highlights and stuff. But yeah, I'd assume he would. What, if you mean tonight? Yeah, why not? Yeah, we'll say it tonight. I've given him my blessing now. In about 18 minutes, Trey Turner's going to hit a home run, and that is a true story. Dude, Mark, no worries. No worries, my friend. Thank you so much for taking the time to tune in anyway. That is extremely kind of you. I appreciate the dedication to come back and say hello. Can I just say really quickly, I know we're nearing the end of the show. It's Wednesday today. Monday's show got over 1,000 views in total. I wasn't expecting it. The first one got a few hundred. That was cool. The second one, there were so many comments where people have come to the channel and found it and then left something nice. Oh, it's nice to see you back. It's nice to... I'm going to cry again. To see you on stream and stuff. It was just a lot of positive... Oh my God, you're back. I don't know. It just means a lot. Yeah, really means a lot. So thank you. I just wasn't expecting that kind of positive response. Again, I worried a lot about coming back just because everyone's got lives. There are so many amazing content creators out there. You can get some brilliant YouTube content. I was like, would they have time to come back for an hour every 3 days a week and just chill out? I wasn't sure if that would be a thing. And I wouldn't blame anyone if they didn't, you know? But the fact that so many of you do still care and do want to hang out, and it's just nothing ever changed, and we can just have the same level of shithousery, it means everything. And it's everything that PSN stands for. Since day one, it's always been about trying to be different. It's been about trying to just go our own way and bring you content that you deserve. Basically, that All In Philly place stole our entire ethos, lumped a Tony Khan mogul level of money at it. But I'm not complaining. It's fine. But all I'm saying is we'll always be your company. It will always be yours. You will shape our content and we do it for you, you know? Like we started off fans just like yourselves. I started PSN to make written content because I hated what I was seeing elsewhere. And I'd like to think we found a place in your daily lives to something, whether it's a newsletter, whether it's YouTube streams, whether it's podcasts, whether it's written content. Like, the fact that you guys still continue to support it means everything. And for me to come back and like just have a little community of so many familiar names and faces, yeah, it's just not lost on me. I just promise you, it's not lost on me. I'm not going again. Like, I'll see you Friday for better or worse, whatever the hell happens on Thursday night. So yeah, just thank you for being a part of it. Should have saved that for the end. So now I've got to come back and talk about your comments and then say bye again. So that's always fun. 5-star says, what's your prediction? Okay, so I can give you my props. If you're just tuning in, I'll give you my 5 prop bets and I'll give you a score at the end. Jordan Addison to score any time. Again, no starting corner, no starting safety, no starting linebacker. On that same vein, TJ Hockenson over 55 yards, Jalen Hurts over 45 rushing yards, Alex Mattison under 54 rushing yards. So that's my prop predictions. In terms of actual score, 28-24. 28-24. There you go. That's my score. I don't think the Eagles defense is going to hold up. I think it's going to get... Well, the front four will. It's the rest of it I'm worried about. But I think there's going to be points from both teams, like substantial points from both teams. Like, the Eagles offense will find its groove. It's going to have to, because that defense it's going to be a shootout. And this is going to very much be a shootout. But like one of those annoying ones where there's like a few sloppy turnovers, a few dodgy penalties. Neither team is playing great football. So it'll be a shootout of like mid. It will just be a mid back and forth of like a touchdown that gets bumbled around. And yeah, 28-24 Eagles is my prediction. Eagles go 2-0. Frankly, it doesn't matter how they get there as long as they win. They could play ugly all the way up to the playoffs. And if they kick into gear then, doesn't matter. If they win 12 games by playing terrible football and get to the playoffs, it does not matter if they turn it on when it matters most. So, yeah, 28-24 Eagles. I'd love to know what you guys are saying. Now he's got to keep going with the golf journey. Yeah, I need to get the channel back up going. I'm a 22 handicap now for anyone that does care about my golf game. I've got a trophy. I've got a competition on Saturday where I can win a trophy. So now I'm currently 3rd place, 13 points off of the guy in first if it is Stableford format. But he plays off 17 and he shot a 57-9 hole the other day. So I'm just saying it's there for the taking. We all have a Cinderella kid. We all love, the Eagles' hungry dogs run faster. All I'm saying is Saturday, LJ could have a trophy. The fairy tale ending. Could it be? Who knows? I made it a thing this year. I just wanted to win a competition this year, playing golf. Like, it's my first year properly having a handicap and taking it seriously. And I did win one on my birthday weekend. So there's that. That was cool. And this is like the final round of that. There's like 4 rounds in a year. So we'll see. I don't want to bore you with golf, but we will see. I've got, like I said, competition Saturday. Might have a little toppy post on Twitter with me holding the trophy. Might be crying my eyes out listening to Phoebe Bridgers. You never know. It's going one of 2 ways, ladies and gents. One of 2 ways. Disappointed with the lack of Albert Einstein talk. Yeah, I missed out. That's my bad. I thought he was on the injured reserve. I forgot they elevated him. I didn't know he was going to be starting this week. I'm sorry, man. I don't get it. I tuned into your channel. You didn't get everyone. That's weird. God, that's annoying. I've taken it personally. No, I'm joking. Absolutely fine. I appreciate you stopping by anyway, 5-star. It's very kind of you. Very annoying about the notification. Hopefully that will change in future and it's not a permanent. If it is, please let me know, because obviously I can try and look into it and see if it's a tech thing or maybe something I've not pressed or something like that. But yeah, hopefully we can get more of those sent out shortly. Coach Sirianni looked pissed at the end of his presses today. I hope so. I mean, that's my kind of hope going into this game. Is that we've all spoken a lot about Sirianni and his ability to galvanise the locker room that was previously broken a couple of years ago. His ability to hold it all together, to push that team through the playoffs, to keep them on the same page, the same level of cohesiveness. We haven't really seen him hit real adversity. Is that same level of charisma, that passion, going to bleed over into that? Can they get them out of that hole that they dig? We haven't seen them do that. We're about to see if they can in week 2 against the Minnesota Vikings. I hope they do. If Nick Sirianni's... I liken it to if I get pissed off. like, and one of my, let's say Brian, I'd never get pissed off at Brian. He's probably watching this. He's going to be all upset, bless him. But I've never been annoyed at Brian. But you all know him, so it's an easy name. If I got annoyed at Brian, it would be so, like, out of character that I think he would be taken aback. And he would take it personally and be like, oh, God, yeah, okay, shit, sorry. Like, because and it's the same with Sirianni. I think that, like, if he turns it on and he gets angry, I think a lot of those players are going to be like, oh, geez, we've got to step it up. And it'll be a wake-up call. That's my hope, anyway. That's my hope. I guess God does play dice with the universe. Yeah, that is true. And on that note, that very intelligent comment there from Duck, we're going to call it a night. You could be mad at Brian for being a Giants fan. Don't tell him that. He's going to get very angry at you. And then he'll be the one getting angry and not me. Guys, we've passed the hour mark. Final score predictions. And while you do them, I have to say, you didn't pass 25 likes, which means no Eagles slippers, no Eagles key rings, no Eagles Santa Claus that light up and sing Fly Eagles Fly. But you do get da 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 Clayton Dawson, da 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 Clayton Dawson. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen and gentle birds, I will see you on Friday for the recap of Thursday Night Football. How is it going to go down? 28-24. That's how it's going down. You can write it here. You can write it right below there if you want to. 28-24 Eagles. That's what I'm saying. We've got Eagles Vikes 28-16, 28-17, or a point in it there between Duck and Ron. That's going to get 10 to its 28-13, isn't it, near the end of the game? Mark, I shall see you soon, guys. Thank you again for tuning in. I know I've ruined the sloppy speech, but it does mean a lot, the fact I can come here 3 days a week. You guys are going to hang out with me for an hour and just talk birds. It is the best feeling. I've missed it. I'm so glad I'm at a point where I've got the time and I guess the desire to commit to this level of content. It means everything. Just thank you so much for being patient with me, for being so supportive of, you know, Brian and Zach and Eric and Morgan and everyone at PSN who has been doing YouTube content in the meantime. Really quickly while we're here, I don't think there's going to be a live stream from Phil tomorrow because he's obviously still on his honeymoon. But make sure you give some love to Phil as well. Wish him a happy anniversary. Yeah, hell of a guy, hell of a breakfast show. Can't wait to tune in when he's back. Duck, I love you. If I get the chance to see you, you're getting the biggest hug the world has ever seen. Guys, enjoy the game tomorrow night. I'll see you Friday for all of the reaction you could possibly want. Are we going to be angry? Are we going to be happy? Are there going to be streamers? Are there going to be tears? There's only one way to find out. Enjoy Thursday Night Football. I will see you soon. Go Birds. Take care. I can't find the video. There it is. Take care.